After months of closed-door negotiations and public calls of outrage, one racist NFL policy will finally come to an end. Race norming. It assumed black players have lower cognitive skills than white players. Therefore, traumatic brain injuries didn't cause black players to lose as much as white players. That was a policy. And it made it harder for black players to qualify for payouts in the $1 billion settlement of concussion claims. The practice prevented black players from getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. On Wednesday, we learned the NFL promised, quote, no race norms or race demographic estimates, whether black or white, shall be used in the settlement program going forward. Though a racial breakdown of payouts has not been made public, the Concussion Fund has paid out more than $108 million to date. Lawyers for black players involved in the suit believe that white players were awarded payouts at rates 2 or even 3 times higher than black players. Now, thousands of black players will have the opportunity to get reevaluated and get justice. Joining me now to discuss it all is former NFL running back Ken Jenkins. Ken, thank you for joining tonight. There have been some former players who are blaming the NFL itself, while others are taking aim at the lead lawyer for the class in this class action lawsuit. Who do you think is most bears the blame for this systemic racism?
Well, look, there's plenty of blame to go around for sure. And this has been a long battle, but it appears that we have made some progress. And how much progress is really yet to be determined. It's kind of hard to take a victory lap, so to speak, because they have reversed a blatantly racist policy that should have never been in place to begin with. So we're cautiously optimistic that going forward, race norming will be eliminated from the concussion settlement.
The suit involved about 20,000 former players. Do you think that all 20,000 will be able to have their tests reviewed? I mean, what all does it entail to now have to go back and see who qualifies?
Yes, well, the new agreement does allow for retesting, rescoring, and some cases that are pending will actually be paid out. Those most egregious cases will be paid out quickly. It depends on where you are in the process, but it does allow for retesting with race-neutral norms that are supposedly going to help black players get more compensation under the suit. We shall see if that's really the case. We've been a little jaded, and it's really difficult to be objective while reading the new settlement. But it appears plausible that we will black players will be treated fairly going forward.
You played in the 80s. This is, now decades later that we're even understanding the impact of what the sport has done to people like you. Do you see hope that this new generation is going to be able to get better treatment than you and your colleagues?
Well, I think certainly one of the things that's come out of this, as you see in the NFL and even at the college level, high school level, the way brain injury has been treated on the field when it happens, the new protocols, we know more now scientifically about brain injury, and hopefully all of the pain and suffering that we went through, and when we went back into the game after having brain injuries or concussions, hopefully now we'll be able to avoid some of those long-term effects because we know how to treat it better.
Well, you're talking about the science element of this, right? So of, better medical treatment on the field, better awareness and treatment after the fact. But there's, of course, the racial element of this. And that is something that we uncover a new piece every week, right? Like last week, a coach had to resign because his emails were just so blatantly racist that people were horrified. But it also was an affirmation of what we've always assumed about this system that is built on the labor of black bodies. How do you change that part of it?
Well, it's slow. And if we give up, we'll never have change. But it does appear change is coming. And I think those who are unwilling to change and those who are unwilling to see a new way of treating people and referring to people, their time is limited because the world is changing. And if they don't want to change, they need to get out of the way.
Speaking of changes, your former team changed its name to the Washington team. How do you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it. As a black man, we've been marginalized over the years in many different ways in this society. This fight, in my opinion, was for Native Americans to garner to garner enough support. And if they were successful, I have no problem calling the former team a new name. The Washington football team is good for now, but I would like to see another mascot, perhaps the Red Wolves.
I could see a local team as a Red Wolf mascot. How is this race norming issue? Is this something that has personally affected you, or just the traumatic brain injuries? Is that something you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis?
So I feel lucky in the sense that I feel like I have my cognitive abilities are still strong. The reason I'm in the fight is for the players who can't speak for themselves, the families who have been harmed tremendously, and frankly, I'm getting way too much credit. It is actually the wives, including my wife, who brought attention to this. The lawyers have been fighting for this for 2 or 3 or 4 years now. And it wasn't until the petition that had 50,000 signatures that was started by the wives and significant others of players who are suffering that brought media attention to this. That petition was delivered to Judge Brody back in April. And it wasn't until then that the needle moved. And we are very proud of our efforts at this particular time. But it certainly was the unrelenting effort of the wives who brought this case to the forefront.
I have to say I am not surprised that when the wives and the women decided to do something about it, something happened. But what about the current players? Are they doing enough to support the players of the past who, were suffering and now are looking for justice?
Well, frankly, I haven't talked to many current players about this. Some of them are aware that the protocols in the past, the reason that they have the safety net now when they have a concussion is because of what transpired years ago to us. I can tell you though that players now in their contracts are required to I don't want to say sign a waiver because I don't have the exact legal phraseology to say so, but they have to sign something that says that they are aware that brain injury can happen in this profession.
And when they sign that, I mean, you work in insurance now, so when they sign that, what does that result in?
Well, what I think is they may not have as much recourse because they're saying that they know the dangers, right, of this sport, and they consent to play this sport even though they know what the dangers are. So this case is really about former players, and there's actually a finite number of former players, and that number of players is going to diminish as we continue to pass away.
Well, let's take care of the folks who came before us and then do better for the ones who come ahead. And that applies to every industry, but especially the NFL. Ken, thank you for joining me tonight, folks. Ken Jenkins, former NFL running back.